What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers Podcast, episode 132. We are back with so much to talk about today. PFL Super Fights to discuss, their first pay-per-view of the year. Or, well, no,
They had one earlier?
Yeah, I forgot that one was a pay-per-view, huh?
Yeah.
Get it together.
Either way, it felt like the first the first real pay-per-view that actually mattered as a pay-per-view, you know?
That's
a true headliner to this pay-per-view, the return of Francis Ngannou we were all waiting for. But yeah, $50 price for that, which I thought was cheaper than the other ones that they have done, so that was definitely a smarter play on PFL's part for sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure ESPN actually controls that, so they were like, listen, you're getting like 50,000 buys at $60, so like maybe if we drop it 10, we could get 100,000, you know? But either way, PFL was back. UFC was back with an Apex event that was pretty great in the main event. A lot of fights were went to decisions.
Yeah.
Which ironically,
I expected it to be better, but they were good fights.
I was about to say, even though it went to mainly decisions, it wasn't like it was a bad card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the fights weren't really, like, there wasn't really a bad fight on the card.
Yeah. But we will get to all of that. Before we do, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Thank you, everyone that does. We appreciate it all. Let's go. But heading into the first event to talk about PFL Battle of the Giants. Absolutely terrible branding and everything for this event.
Oh my god, they could have done so much better.
You had Renan Ferreira, the man who won the PFL tournament at heavyweight last year, unified the title with Ryan Bader earlier this year. So it's like, you know, he's got the PFL title, he's got the Bellator title, he's got the unification title. 3 belts they could have had him walking out with. They could have done it, but just like, no, let's not have any belts like or anything like that.
And then Francis Ngannou, the lineal, like, Pride, Strikeforce, WAMA, UFC, just every other fucking promotion you can honestly think of.
I don't know if it's
champion.
Like, I don't know if it would be like any sort of like things with like copyright or I don't know anything. But like if I was the PFL, I literally would have bought a replica UFC championship belt on the store so Francis could walk out with that shit just to be like, I'm the real heavy. Oh yeah, he has.
Why would he need to buy? He has his. I was about to say he has his own. Now he's buying a replica like Pride belt, yeah.
But you
don't have that.
Like, they should have like they literally just should have had all the belts on the line walking out with. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's one of those things in boxing where I feel like that's just kind of cool when you got 2 people fighting and it's like you got like someone that has like 3 belts or something. And they just got their entire team just holding up all their belts as they're coming out. The other guy's team coming with their belts. It's like I don't know. It's like all this shit on the line. It makes it feel bigger. But they decided to just be like, these guys are big men, though, right? That's cool.
Battle of the Giants.
Like, the marketing could have been so much fucking better.
It would have been great marketing if it was 20 years ago, you know what I mean? Yeah. But hey, it is what it is. Either way, everyone knew what we were getting with this main event. The return of Francis Ngannou. Huh?
Bring Scott Coker back.
Yeah. The return of Francis Ngannou in MMA, taking on Renan Ferreira.
Yes.
And motherfucking Big Francis gets it done. Ooh. First round ground and pound. Absolutely sleeps him on the floor. 3 minutes, 32 seconds into the first round. We had a feeling that Francis was going to go to some grappling in this one. And as soon as he did, the fight was over, basically. Renan, he had the triangle attempt that he went for. Francis, he did not have great defense on that, which it was kind of like...
It's fine. He got out of it. He defended it, so you can't say it wasn't great. It worked.
Out of all, like the only heavyweight who I think is getting that triangle off on Francis is maybe Verdum.
Oh yeah, like
Let's
be fair, with legit BJJ skills, someone like Tom Aspinall or something, where we haven't seen him on his back, but you know, it's like that's a very big problem that he definitely has to address if he were to fight anyone like that further in his career. But who knows if he even gets a matchup like that?
I was about to say, like, who, again, like, even if it was like Tom Aspinall, I feel like Tom Aspinall probably stuffs the takedown.
Bro, I would fucking love to see that. I have no idea. I don't know.
Because it would be interesting.
Fucking, we know Stipe is a great grappler, and the Francis shucked off his takedown and literally almost took him off his feet by fucking, like, just driving the underhooks. You know what I mean? Completely reversed it. Like, yeah, he manhandled Stipe, like you said. Him
but
versus
that is
Tom
that is older Stipe, so it is like there is a big difference there between
a 38-year-old Stipe.
That's still old.
Prime Stipe.
Slightly post-prime Stipe.
Either way, Francis, it was just a beautiful performance.
Beautiful.
Bro, they went out there and them bombing those leg kicks on each other. Already heading into it, it's just like so much stress and anxiety. Like, what the fuck is gonna happen with Francis? I don't want to see him get knocked out again. I didn't even, like, you know what I mean? That wasn't even one of the biggest thoughts, like, heading into all of his fights until he got knocked out by Joshua. So it's like, let's see how he performs. Big leg kicks early. Starts with a wild exchange, him and Renan throwing at each other. It was fucking edge of your seat, you know, just like, is one of these gonna land? And then Renan just went in for another big right hand, double leg takedown perfectly, and there was zero resistance on that shit. And then, like I said, the only thing that Renan really did, he was like grapevining the legs at the one point, just breaking the base of Francis, which if he had more jiu-jitsu skills to like actually work something from there, you know what I mean? He like was definitely able to like buy himself some time and opportunity with that, but try for the triangle, no dice, and bro, those,
and then just vicious, just ground and pound from fucking Francis. There are very few men who you want in that position, like him, Shane Carwin, Brock Lesnar. Like, those are like people you do not want bombing on you on the ground, and that's exactly where Renan was. And
oh boy, it's like he went out and the ref just didn't call it, so he still ate a couple more shots after that. Like, he was just flat on his face, done.
Yeah, man. It's there are some people. It's so funny to watch because it's like you can have great talented strikers, and it's like when you see them start ground and pounding, like they look so wonky. They don't know how to like get their body into and everything. Bro, when Francis, when Francis started letting off, like, just full weight of a 250-plus-pound man that is 6'4" and has got a 6-pack, you know what I mean? Just ripping into you, like you said, went unconscious, landed a few more. Once he woke up, you saw that big hematoma just swelling on his head. Like, that was absolutely vicious. And then as soon as Francis was done, he gets up, he's sitting there, and then the tears start coming, the emotion. Oh man, it's always hard when you got people like Francis, you know, that are just like monsters in there. They're just so vicious and scary, and like they just seem larger than life. But when they just break down and show that just human emotion, you know what I mean? It's like he's always been one, like with his interviews, and has always obviously talked about it, you know, and has been much more personal than other fighters. But that shit made me want to cry, man.
Hell yeah, because it's like, leading up to this, like, everyone knows what he's gone through with getting viciously knocked out early in the year, and then shortly after that losing his 1-year-old son suddenly. It's like to be fighting again this year, and like I don't know, it's just fucking crazy, you know? Like, that's so much weight and just anguish on your soul, you know? And then it's like trying to push it away, do whatever he can during camp, just like be okay, be fit, get good at, and, you know, get ready for this fight that he has coming up ahead. And then media day comes along, and it's, of course, just going to be a load of questions of, how's your return going to be? You've just been knocked out. You just lost a son. How's everything doing? Da-da-da-da-da. And all of it just coming to life in the week of your fight. It's just, I can only imagine the actual release the second he won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like you can finally feel it. You can finally let it go because now you don't have to worry about the fight. You don't have to worry about this. Like, it might have been a good distraction in the time, but, like, you needed to cry.
Just having to push all that down during media day, fight week, all that. And it's just like, like, anyone would break down in that exact moment.
Yeah, and
anyone would break down before it.
Eric Nixick, you know, his coach saying that, like, leading up to fight day, he was questioning himself the entire time. Like, that was his mentality. Francis talking about it, that it's like, can he handle it? Can he handle the spotlight, the fight, the media, like everything, like actually going into the fight? Like, he didn't, after that loss and losing it, like literally questioning if he could still do this anymore. And it's like, he has always been someone where it's like, look at all of this hardship that he has went through, and he has like came up to do amazing things. He has always been someone to persevere and just go after it. And so for him, like in a fight that is not even close to the biggest fight of his life, to have all of these questions and doubt and to still go in there and perform like that, it shows why he is one of the baddest men on the planet. And it's just still arguable to this day that he is the greatest heavyweight fighter in MMA right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Because with that, he gets the PFL Super Fight title, just, getting that, just a nice little extra feather in his cap. But it's like, where does he go from here? Obviously, PFL does not have anyone on their roster that is worth a fight with Francis at all.
No.
The only one that was slightly worth it was Renan Ferreira, and even a lot of people is like, this is a nothing fight. Francis is going to run through him. Obviously, we recognize the threats, but it still played out that way, where it was a very easy win. I feel like for me, the only options are let him do his thing in boxing, whatever he decides to go do. Maybe a Deontay Wilder fight, or just whatever they end up getting him going there if they want to. Or the PFL is just going to be pushing for a cross promotion fight with the UFC against John Jones or Tom Aspinall,
which isn't going to happen.
It's never going to happen. They're just going to give him Oleg Popov because that's the only current heavyweight on a streak right now in PFL.
I could see. I just realized I was on the wrong thing.
That's what you think is gonna happen?
Yes.
Motherfucker.
That I could see it.
There ain't no way.
Maybe Denis Goltsov, because I guess him and Oleg are fighting, so it's gonna be the winner of that because they're gonna be the new champion. Even though Dennis lost to Renan last year, they're gonna be like, but he's our champ this year.
Yeah.
Like something like that. Sorry, I forgot this fight was coming up. But,
no, because you started saying that, I'm just like, wait, I'm pretty sure we didn't find out like all the champions.
It's him and
year.
Dennis.
But
it'll be one of those two. Yeah.
I don't see it though.
I don't know. Maybe they can somehow parlay into a cross promotion with fucking one championship. Get Anatoly versus Francis.
That is definitely the only other option for sure. If they could fucking get a fight between motherfucking Anatoly Malakin and Francis
I'm
Ngannou.
sorry, but I don't even want to see that. Like, I do, but also Francis is just going to kill him.
I'm not so entirely sure.
I kind of think so. I'm not going to lie.
The thing that makes it extremely interesting for me is that Malakin can grapple.
Yes.
He's a very physical fighter as well.
He's physical, but
he will run into a shot.
I don't know.
He will literally just run face forward into Francis's fist trying to get that takedown.
Maybe, but
is he gonna be okay?
Bro, I don't know, but
I
would be extremely interested with that. Because it's like he was extremely patient with Arjun Bowler when he fought him to unify the title. Yeah. He did not, he very much respected Arjun and, allowed Arjun to jab his way and, fight through that fight more than he should have. I'm not sure if he's going to exactly just run into Francis, but he might because he thinks that he has to get to the grappling. I would love to see how those grappling exchanges go between them. Fucking Anatoly being, 4 inches shorter than him and just wide and stocky as a motherfucker.
They say he's 6 foot.
They say
5'11".
But that, because it's would you rather see Anatoly or fucking the winner of goddamn Olev?
No, yeah, definitely Anatoly. But I was oh no, my boy.
Yeah, no, I've really come around to Jimmy's idea when Francis first left of just get all the lineal titles.
Yeah,
get all the lineal titles.
What goes on over there?
I don't think Ryzen has heavyweight.
Phil DeFries.
Bro, he would fucking wreck Phil, but I'd be fine with that. Let's do that. Do a fucking cross promotion fight with KSW, Francis versus Phil DeFree. He gets that belt, and then they could do him versus Anatoly Malakin. They got the PFL title, they got the fucking KSW title, UFC title versus all three.
If they're
fucking one
opening the door for cross promotional shit, and they actually do Francis and Anatoly, then I need Patchy Mix versus Fabricio de Andrade.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, they would have to.
Sure. Yeah.
Because if they're gonna do that, they're gonna be putting that on pay-per-view. You know what I mean? One's already been doing their own little pay-per-views. PFL has their big events and pay-per-views. Like, yeah, that's gonna be a fucking.
They need to start doing that. They need to.
Yeah,
I feel like one needs it because.
Yes, they both need it. Honestly, like that's the best way to build some fucking actual like any sort of.
They can literally have a. They can have a rivalry set up between one PFLator and easily do fucking like New Year's Eve events. Please.
Yeah. It's like they're
please.
It's like because me and Kay were talking, and it's like with Bellator, you know, doing stuff with Ryzen. It's like I don't know if there's some sort of beef with like Ryzen and One at all, or like, you know, Chatri and anything like that. So I just wonder if it's, you know, just been one of those things of like Bellator never doing cross promotion with them, and like, you know, maybe PFL now not doing it because of just you know, just whatever things. I don't know, but they for sure need to do, because Don Davis is only gonna be talking about doing shit with UFC, and it's like, if anything, I feel like if they did a cross promotion like big event with like a whole lot of the big fighters between PFL and One, and like let's say whichever one of their fighters came out on the better end of it in One, then that's gonna build more hype, I feel like, with fans of like, okay, we kind of got that unification in a way. Let's see this winner now versus this person. You know what I mean, in the UFC.
Yes.
But
yeah, no, like
we could dream.
PFL, if they need to do any type of cross promotion, it needs to be with like KSW. It needs to be with like One Championship. It needs to be with these guys. Like UFC is never going to do cross promotion. They don't care to. There's no reason really for them to do cross promotion besides Francis at the moment. That's literally the only reason that they would even like do anything.
The only reason to do that would be to cater to a select few of fans. Few fans, basically. Like that. That's the.
Yes. 100%.
There's no other reason. There's no financial gain. There's no business gain. Like there's literally nothing to it that benefits them.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and also if Francis does want to go back into boxing, I don't mind the Deontay Wilder fight. I also think a fight between him and Andy Ruiz would be really good. Ruiz did not look that great in terms of boxing in his last one, so I'd like to see that fight as well.
Yeah. If Francis goes to box, like, Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder, obviously Wilder's always going to be a big puncher, but like he's just super gun shy at this point, and I feel like that's just a much more winnable fight than it used to be. It's like anyone that Francis should be able to win, but could beat, you know what I mean, and maybe not get beat up too bad against, and just get a big payday. That's maybe just set up for like gets a big win, gets a Tyson Fury rematch or something. That would be awesome.
Tyson Fury rematch. Fucking Derek Chisora fight.
Something. Who knows? But either way, just so happy to see Francis get it done, get back in the winning column, be back in MMA, just everything. Another big payday for him as well. And then he got a very big payday for this one, guaranteed, because Francis is such a great guy. So that's just awesome for him. You know what I mean? Good for Renan. And probably just goes back into the tournament next year, if I had to guess.
Yeah, more likely.
Co-main event, though. Not the exact result that I was looking for, but holy fucking shit. All the respect and love and praise in the fucking world to Cris Cyborg, man. You gotta give it to her. Unanimous decision win over 5 rounds against Larissa Pacheco. All judges scored it 4 rounds to 1, 49-46. Her fucking eyes were ripped up with cuts and bleeding. She was like leaking all over the place. I think it was the first round in an exchange. Larissa had her nose leaking and then just continued to cut her up, easily wearing more damage, but consistently throughout the 5 rounds, she was landing the much more bigger shots, the more impactful shots, noticeably having Larissa just wobbled back and away, getting hurt. And for her to just secure a 5th organization world title, that is just unheard of. It's insane. 28-2 professional record for the 39-year-old Cris Cyborg. Legend. Absolute legend.
And I mean, like, God, it's insane. And now really think about it, because I know she's boxed and done Muay Thai and grappling, right?
Probably, yeah. I know boxing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about. Oh yeah, she's done grappling.
Yeah, it's
2011 IBJJF World Championship.
Yeah. It's Clarissa Shields, who always says, great, Glow, greatest woman of all time, or whatever, in combat sports, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's Chris Cyborg.
If anything, it is Chris fucking Cyborg.
Yeah.
Has won in every fucking, like, the only thing she doesn't have is kickboxing, technically, but
yeah, but if you do Muay Thai, same fucking shit, except you can do more and be more vicious, so.
Yeah. Like, bro, like, she is undoubtedly up there. Like, it's probably the greatest female combat sports athlete of all time.
Yeah, man. Like, literally has been a champion since the days of Gina Carano. Won her first major title against Gina Carano when Gina was 7-0 and Cyborg was 7-1 back in 2009. Won the Strikeforce title, defended it 2 times. Won the Invicta title 2013, defended that 3 times. Won the UFC title 2017, defended that 2 times. Won the Bellator title 2020, defended that 5 times. Now unifies that, getting the PFL title against Larissa Pacheco, who was on a 10-fight winning streak, beat Kayla Harrison along that. Like, it just... Who else is getting that many title wins across that many organizations? There's literally no one that has ever done that. It's just incredible, man. Yeah. It's like... It definitely sucks that we never got a bigger rivalry between her and Amanda Nunes. And it's like... It's just annoying too, because like you got fucking Juliana Pena out here just acting like there's some sort of rivalry or any meaning behind that or anything, just talking all this shit to get Amanda out of retirement. And it's like, obviously we talk like Amanda fighting like Kayla Harrison and stuff, but it's like, bro, I would still be interested to see Amanda Nunes versus Chris Cyborg too. Let's see how that shit fucking plays out. I know Chris is old as shit at this point. Amanda's obviously older too, but like,
not for nothing, we just seen her perform yesterday.
Yeah.
That is still an incredible fight. Like, it's... Oh, I would love that. But I don't know how much more to say about Chris Cyborg to just give her praise and love and everything, because it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The fucking longevity is insane. Next year, because she started in 2005, would be 20 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
In combat sports.
Like, yeah, 39 years old, just so wild.
Yeah, because it's like, with like in terms of GOAT status and like female MMA, with obviously the only person right there with her is Amanda Nunes, and the thing that you can argue with Amanda Nunes is level of competition, which is honestly a very big thing for sure, like in her favor, especially like with Chris Cyborg just later half, I feel like, in Bellator. And then just honestly, even probably just like Invicta and stuff like that too. Obviously Gina Carano was a great win in 2009, but it's just a different level of fighting as well. Right. You know what I mean? But like Amanda Nunes has literally beat every meaningful champion that from 125 to 145 in the UFC. You know what I mean? Like, it's just no one else has done that kind of thing either. So it's. Greatest of all time, you just got A and B. You know what I mean? Like, no, I feel like neither of them have a real claim to number one. Like, they're 1A, 1B.
It's one of those things where if you tell me you have Nunes as your GOAT, cool. If you have Cyborg as your GOAT, cool. Like, there are arguments for both of them, and you can literally talk about the shit all fucking day and really not even get anywhere with it.
Yeah.
Just because of that. Literally, 1A, 1B.
But with that, on the flip side, Larissa Pacheco, I feel... Huh?
I was just going to say, she's tough as hell.
Yeah, bro.
Stupid.
No quit. No, nothing. Just in there the entire time. But the one thing that I will say I was very surprised about this fight, I never expected that we would get a point where Cyborg is just... I'm staying on the outside, basically backing myself to the cage, waiting for you to come to me so I can counter. And Larissa is just standing in the center, pointing like, "What the fuck? Come to me! Like, let's fight!" And like, in Cyborg just sitting there, like, I'm not engaging. Yeah. Like, I never thought we would get that. Like, it was an amazing fight, and there was a whole lot of good. It
was just that one moment was just real weird.
That sequence was weird. Yeah.
It was just like, what the hell. But I just really feel bad for Larissa because it's like to get held out for an entire year for this fight, you know what I mean? And now to come up short over just a tough 5-round decision.
It's also like she's been fighting in PFL since 2019, and now all of a sudden they're not doing women's 145 tournament. It's down to 25. Like you said, held her out for the year. It's like, where does she go from here?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do with her? How badly are they about to fuck her?
Yeah, because like Chris Cyborg, it's obviously like, oh, what's gonna happen with her? There's really nothing left. But she's 39 at the end of her run. She's probably gonna try and get out of her contract, do some boxing or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Maybe she makes an attempt to come back to the UFC or something. That would be something she would try and do. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, if anything, like if she does come back, fuck it. Like, well, you'd have to make a 140. Yeah, just fuck it. 145 title, make it, redo it. Who fucking cares?
But Larissa, she's 30 years old. She's still right at the like middle of her prime, start of her prime. It's like she has still so many good years left of just solid competition and trying to get better and just like actually performing at her best. Yeah, who the fuck knows how many fights she has left on her contract, what that's looking like at all. And it's like, I would just feel really bad if she's just kind of forced to sit out because the PFL is like, oh, well, we're trying to find you opponent, you gotta be on a big card, and we have to, so maybe December next year or something, or November, you know what I mean? Like,
it's just, this is why I hate tournament fucking shit, because you get shit like this if they don't have a tournament for your division. Like Larissa, it's like she has to either do this or go to Bellator, or go over to the Bellator side of it and just fight there.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess that's definitely like a possibility that they could. Yeah. But that's where it's
again.
Like, they have all of these things, and it's like I feel like they could make it more seamless with just like fighters moving in between and like just doing whatever. But I feel like it just feels so rigid with them. You know what I mean? Like nothing is just fitting or working together, and it's just like like I don't. Just have a fucking like just have her like get whatever title that they want to give her, and then just have her fight on whatever cards. Like just do it like during your tournament or something like that. Just be like, you have this big fight like in the semifinals between these people, but also Larissa is defending her title. You know what I mean? Like, do that shit. Like,
that or like fucking like instead of like only doing like 2 really big cards here, how about you up that to like maybe 3 or 4?
Yeah. The one thing I will say,
then you have one every quarter, and so
like the one thing I will say though is that I feel like just with the whole like them keeping Bellator around, there's I feel like just hearing like Ariel and just other people talk just like a whole lot of stuff about like they probably just have to run it as is for like a year or something. You know what I mean? For whatever contractual things. So hopefully it is just a thing where they have to run the Bellator brand for a year, and now 2025 they could just fold it into however they want to, you know what I mean? And things will just hopefully work a lot better. That's all I could hope for. Like I was really hoping for good things this year. 2025 is the last year I'm giving them to like actually do something good, to like take them seriously as trying to do anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't do shit, then it's like, all right, you're just Bellator. You know what I mean?
You're just... It's ironic. We were talking about this yesterday when we were talking about this. Like, unironically, Scott Coker would be doing a better job with PFL than what PFL is doing.
Yeah. He really would. But speaking of Bellator, though, we did have a Bellator title on this card, which, again, one of those things where it's like, this is a PFL Super Fight branded thing. Throw a Bellator title on it. Why not? It doesn't fucking matter. They're all your fighters. But they decided to go with Johnny Eblen versus Fabian Edwards 2, after both of them only having one fight in between the rematch. The more I think about this fight, all it really makes me think is, like, where the fuck is Jesus Pinedo? That's all, like, you know what I mean? But I know that it really has nothing to do with it, but it's like, what? Like, I know he had to pull out of the fight with Pitbull earlier the year, you know what I mean? But it's like, why wasn't Pitbull on this card? Like, what's going on? Where are all of your big fighters? What the fuck is happening?
Like, the fight right before this was Zafar and Katamagomedov.
Yeah.
And
you know what I mean?
Maev, sorry.
Like, the Paul Hughes, AJ McKee fight was good.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's just like weirdly built card because who are these two?
No, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so Johnny Eblen, Fabian Edwards. First time Eblen got the third round finish over him. This time they go all 5 rounds. Eblen just dominating him with the grappling for the first 20 minutes, easily winning the fight. And then he gassed round 5.
Yep.
And Fabian Edwards put it on him.
Bro, that I was really thinking, like, for a few moments there, it's like, yo, are you about to get hit with like one of these body shots and just fold up, and like that's how this is about to go? You're gonna lose, like, you know, the undefeated status, your title, everything, just in a rematch that you've been easily dominating, but you got too tired, and now, that would have been extremely sad. But
yeah,
able to survive, makes it easily, wins the fight, gets the decision. Another guy where it's like there's nothing really left for him, I feel like, because especially with the the merger, the PFL never had a 185 division, so
right,
it's
so he fought Impa.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's get him in the UFC. That's just really what I would rather see.
I'd be interested to see how far he can actually go in the UFC.
If he were to come to the UFC, the best first fight is Brendan Allen, right? We get a lot of good pictures from that fight, just like the Brendan Allen Nasruddin one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could do that. I think it'd be funny considering he gassed hard in the 5th, putting him up against Fluffy.
Oh my god, that'd be a great fight, though. We'll get into
it. Would be a great
later.
fucking fight.
But
it's goddamn.
But yeah, other than I feel like going to the UFC, there really isn't much left for Johnny Eblen and PFL Tour, so we'll see what they end up deciding to do with him.
That's the thing, is you can run real quick out of shit to do in Bellator/PFL.
Yeah.
Especially if you're into some of the higher weight classes, because it just is not high level competition at that point.
Yeah, and
not a lot of it.
And that's where it's just like, it's just funny because, yeah, PFL is just holding all these guys out and not doing shit, so it just feels like they're probably not making that much money at all, you know what I mean? And it's like, Bellator, like, I don't know what their contracts were looking like, but it's like, they fought their guys consistently. Like, they were always having events and doing stuff, you know? So it's like...
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with all these guys. But, like you mentioned, we did have Paul Hughes versus AJ McKee on the main card, too. Bruh, AJ looked terrible against Paul Hughes.
Yeah.
It's because it's really his grappling is his go-to, and Paul Hughes was able to stuff everything he got, basically. So from there, it was over.
Yeah. Second and third rounds, AJ was definitely finding a few takedowns, but couldn't hold them down for shit, and then just got beat up on the feet. Good knees standing up for Paul Hughes. Had AJ hurt. That big right hand that dropped him in the second round. Don't know how the fuck it went to a split decision.
Yeah, there was no reason for that.
No.
But that's just how it goes sometimes. But yeah, overall a PFL card.
It was PFL.
Yeah.
It was PFL.
And the top was good.
Yeah, it's sad to say. They tried real hard, and it really just, other than the last 2 fights, which really did have some real feels and meanings to it, that was definitely un-PFL-like. But yeah, not much more than that.
The only other thing to mention was, in my opinion, is Rafian starts with a beautiful sweep to get into an RNC against his opponent, but outside of that, not much to mention.
Yeah, he was getting rocked and hurt real bad round 1. I thought it was going to be an early knockout loss for him. That was, oh my god. Recovered, ended up, like you said, getting the rear naked choke, so that was awesome to see. Moving on, though, to the UFC Apex event. Motherfucking Fluffy versus Michel Pereira. Brother, oh brother, holy fucking shit. I knew Fluffy was good. We all knew Fluffy was good.
Yeah. How tough he is?
Yeah.
We knew that he was tough too.
Cardio he has?
But yeah, man. All of it together for this performance. I don't remember the last time that for like 3.5 rounds of a fight, I'm just watching it and I just feel so bad for the person that's losing because they have nothing. Their soul and life is gone, and it just feels like they are getting so incredibly big brothered in there that it just wasn't fair. You know what I mean? Like And it's just one of those things. Just any fucking normal person that don't know shit about fighting, if you were to show them just 2 still shots of them two next to each other, and like, who do you think would probably win a fight and get fucked up? You got flabby fucking Fluffy Hernandez. He's skinny, fat, and shit. It's like, what's going on? You don't even look like a fighter. You just got tattoos and gauges, and like, you know what I mean? You look like you'd be working at a tattoo shop. And then Michelle Pereira, just a fucking massive ass man, just full of muscle, you know, like, bro,
it is literally the meme of it. It is impossible to tell the normal person that this person is a picture of like Accountant Gaethje, like when he's got his glasses and he looks all nerdy and shit, beats the shit out of like this bodybuilder. It's like, yeah,
man, because the stats. The motherfucking stats that Fluffy put up, speaking to his cardio and toughness. Well, we could just start with the toughness first, because the first thing I feel like that we gotta say, he's weak to the body.
Yes, 100%.
Even in the Roman fight, like, Roman didn't land like as many good clean shots or anything, but like you could tell that like the softness is there. You could see it, but you could tell by the shots too.
Yeah.
Bro, as soon as the fight starts, we knew Michelle was going to put him through a hell of a first minute. Lands a front kick to the body, and right away, Fluffy just had a face like, oh, I didn't like that. Like, you know what I mean? He lands another one that like had Fluffy push back, and then he like shook his head just saying whatever. And then Michelle just blitzed and bombed on him crazy. I would not have been surprised if Michelle got him out of there. Like, you know, like, that was such a tough fucking storm to withstand. But withstand he did. And basically...
And if you can get out the first minute of a Michelle Pereira fight, your odds of winning go up about 150%.
Well, see, that's where, like, the questions came in. Because Michelle Pereira at 170, like, you could see that he could bring himself in. He can be composed. He can fight at least 3 minutes. I mean, 3 minutes, 3 rounds. You know, he could go at least 15 minutes. Because he was on a long streak, only 3 of them being at 185 with the finishes. The rest of those were, like, 4 decisions before that. You know what I mean? So it was kind of that question of, like, okay, after that, like, blitz, like if he does even go to like the quick blitz, does he still have cardio? Because he's shown to be able to go 15. How is this going to affect him? And oh my fucking god, was that question also answered?
Like, that question was answered, but also like with the decisions right before that, they were against Santiago Ponzinibbio, Andre Fialho, and Nico Price, all of which are not grapplers.
Yeah, Chaos Williams too, right? I think
Chaos Williams, yes. All of which are not grapplers. So that was the other question was, okay, yes, he can strike for 15 minutes. How's this grappling? And that was definitely something that was going to be answered with Hernandez, because Hernandez is a grappler.
Yeah. It's like not the same exact, you know, comparison and stuff, but it's like middleweight Marab, man. You know what I mean? Like, for being 185 pounds, and for the numbers after your fight, total strikes thrown 293, and the takedown attempts were 29. Broke the record for most takedown attempts in a middleweight bout.
Broke the record for the most ground strikes in a middleweight fight.
Oh yeah, I think it was 64 before, right? And he landed like 160 something, or it was like, I'm pretty sure
something like that. Yeah.
I know he landed 97 out of 117, but it was in the 60s. Probably just numbers off, you know, night of the fight. But yeah, it's like broke multiple records in this fight. It was just sad. Ended up getting the stoppage at 222 in the 5th round, I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah, Michelle just really didn't have anything after that. Like, Fluffy was really just beating the shit out of him. Like, Michelle had the heart to keep himself alive, I guess, for a while, until he physically fucking couldn't. Like,
no, he was trying to move. He was trying to hold on. Like you said, just the heart to stay alive. That's literally all he had in him.
Yeah, because it was the second round that Fluffy went for the takedown, and he went for the guillotine. He squeezed the rest of the life that he had left into that, and after that, it was nothing.
Yeah.
Because it was like, round 1, landed a total of 15 strikes, which was in that first minute. Round 2, he landed 2. Round 3, he landed 3. Landed 3 and 4, and 1 of 1 in 5. Like,
yeah. And then just, Fluffy, just 27 significant strikes, then 30, 44, 29, 22, just picking that up, the accuracy, getting more. Obviously, the last round, just not as much, but it ended early. So much control time and everything in there, 15 minutes plus.
Only one to get a performance bonus of the night.
Yeah.
This was
just
a
the
show-out
striking
performance.
differential numbers are just going to be insane off this fight.
Because I mean significant strikes, a total of 152 to 24 landed.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Motherfucking Fluffy, what a way to just get a win in the top 15. Like we said, Michelle was just on such a great run. I think 8 wins overall.
Yeah.
This was absolutely incredible. I don't know where exactly the UFC is going to put him next, but I know we were talking about it before. I feel like the fight that makes all the sense in the world, and I would love to see it. They're easily stick it in the Apex again, but it's a great Apex main event. Motherfucking Fluffy versus Brendan Allen. They fought before on the regional scene in LFA. Fluffy won that over 5 rounds. Let's get it for a top-ranked spot in the UFC. Let's fucking go.
Oh, yeah.
On the flip side, for Michelle Pereira. No, go.
I do like our other idea of him fighting all the brolic Brazilians and him just going up against Paulo Costa next. I do love that idea.
It would be good, but it's also I don't want to see Paulo get fucking ragdolled.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I made the joke of it,
I don't mind.
Fuck you. How about this? Win a fight. Robert Whittaker fucking has to fight Hamzat. Even if he wins, Strickland gets the title shot, and then he's got to fight Fluffy. How about that? But yeah, any of the grapplers in the top 10, I would love to see him fight. That's honestly what.
No, yeah.
Because it's Kaio definitely deserves to be fighting up, but I would love to see him fight Kaio too.
I would love to see that fight. It would just be one of those things where it's I do think Kaio should be fighting up, and Kaio versus Izzy, I don't mind.
But yeah, and then Michelle Pereira, bruh, just stick him on as many cards as possible against as many people that he should beat as possible, and just let him have fun.
Yeah.
Just let him do that 5-6 more times in a row over the next year and a half, and then maybe put him against another top 15 guy. But give him a striker. You know what I mean? We don't need to see the grappling thing anymore. We know what it's not gonna get any better against any different fighters. It's
Michelle versus Joe Pyfer.
Oh no, that's not at all in the way that I was talking about. But that's a great fucking fight. Oh, holy shit. I would not mind that. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Joe's going to grapple him for sure, though, so that's
that's true. He would.
I feel there are a couple guys where it's I feel like they would just go to the grappling. It's hard to be this guy.
The thing is, they have to be good enough, though, to be able to do what Fluffy did.
Yeah. But yes,
I don't know. I feel like Joe might be good enough. He's definitely gonna have the strength to be able to do it.
No, yeah. I'm not questioning Joe, but you just saying that guys are gonna know to do this. It's not everyone can actually get that done though.
You know who deserves a shot at being into the top 15 is RoboCop.
Yeah.
So him versus RoboCop. RoboCop's not gonna.
Yeah.
He doesn't initiate grappling all that often, so.
Yeah. Either any of those would definitely be good for sure. But. Moving on to the co-main event. What an upset in this one. Rob Font was a plus 350 about underdog and just absolutely shut down Kyler Phillips over the 3 rounds. The first
and not
round,
the way I expected.
Yeah, no, because the first round was... I did not think that Kyler Phillips was just going to shoot a takedown on him to start the round right away.
Yeah.
See, it was smart, but he definitely didn't have the right cardio for it because that's what happens.
Yeah.
He couldn't keep up with the striking, but I wonder how much that had to do with the first round because we saw him he was slower. He wasn't throwing the same way that he normally does, He had 3.5 minutes of control time. It was just the 1-of-1 takedowns, little strikes, whatever, but I really think he exerted way too much energy in that first round, and
more than likely
because it's
Rob took over.
Because he was holding him down. He got all that control time, but it's he was constantly moving through positions, constantly floating on top. Rob wasn't really able to do much to get up at all, but it's he was still constantly working.
Yeah, he was frantic as hell the whole time.
Yeah, and so it's just one of those things where he's usually in his fights, he's just on the back foot, moving around with a whole lot of feints and then striking on his terms. And that's a completely different cardio than grappling someone. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, it definitely backfired because then after the first round, Rob was like, I have to walk this motherfucker down and just throw bombs on him. And that's all he did. No respect to anything Kyler was throwing at him. Wasn't like just, you know, like backing up from the feints or anything. Was just pushing forward, jabs and big right hands.
And it's like when Kyler was getting the takedowns at that point, he was just getting right back up.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's like, Kyler, like you said, wasn't fighting like himself. Just all of his shots were way more frantic. They were nowhere near as clean. Wasn't timed as good. Like, it just, and then ended up getting just beat up over the 15 minutes to Rob getting the unanimous decision win. Definitely, kind of, just for the division, it's just like, damn, just
kind of sucks.
Yeah, another guy coming up, just getting shut down. But hey, good for Rob, man. Just tough old vet. It's just tale as old as time. Getting it done.
No.
Where he goes from here, it's, I don't know.
He fights the next guy to prove whether they belong in the top 10 or not. That's all it is. It's just what he does.
Yeah.
It's because he's already lost to so many people at the top, like above him. You know what I mean? Like, he lost to Davison, he lost to Corey, he lost to Cheeto, he lost to Aldo, who's technically behind him now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, where do you go? You're gonna put him in a Henry Cejudo fight where he's definitely gonna get wrestle fucked for 3 rounds? Like,
no, I put him in a Song Yadong fight.
Yeah, for me, it's like Song Yadong or Mario Bautista. Those are like the two names that I feel like would like be good fights.
Yeah, I guess the only I don't know, they're just so close right there.
For sure.
With it being
but it's like,
I know everyone already hated Mario Batista for his last performance, but it's like he is a new name moving into the division, you know, so like let him get more wins because Rob Font might shut him down. But he also might drop the fuck him. I don't know. It's again a good test, but sometimes you gotta let some people pass so that not all the prospects get shut down. Let them get shut down by somebody else.
For sure.
No, exactly. It just one of those things because like Rob Font, it's just such a weird spot for him to be in.
Yeah. So we'll see how all of that plays out, where the UFC decides to book him and everything. But either way, he's always down to put on some good scraps. And Kyle Phillips probably just fight some people outside top 15 for a little bit. And
or Montel Jackson at number 15.
Yeah, something like that. Definitely
Tom
a
Cruise?
step back.
Tom Cruise actually get a fucking fight?
Yeah, fucking. Come on.
You gotta unrank him.
For real!
But moving on to the feature bout, this was a damn good fight, and that second round was absolutely incredible. Charles Johnson, energy, gets it done, unanimous decision win over Suma Darji, makes it 4 in a row, 4-0 this year. Just a great year for motherfucking Charles Johnson. Definitely a great contender for comeback fighter of the year, going 1-3 last year with a 3-fight losing streak, and then 4-0 this year. I was definitely surprised to see him go so much to the clinching and trying to just do that right away with Suma Darji, but out at range, Suma was giving him so many problems, landing so many big left hands. The inside leg kick was tearing him up, but just a great good scrap overall.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The second round was definitely the epitome of why I love flyweights. Like, just second round, Charles Johnson landing 30 significant strikes, Suma Darji 23. Just Charles getting 1 and 2 takedowns, 2 submission attempts from Suma Darji with a reversal. There was a whole lot of good back and forth and scrambles with that. Charles Johnson definitely did enough to win the fight. It's going to be one of those guys where it's like, probably not going to go the farthest in the division. He's going to get out-grappled by a lot of the top grapplers. He's going to get outstruck by a lot of the top strikers. But hang around the bottom end of the top 15 just outside the rankings, and he can put on a lot of good fights, and just get a lot of good wins.
I know it's technically not the bottom end of it, but I would love to see him versus Tim Elliott.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, I know it's a jump up, but the old man's fight, you know?
That is such
Tim
a fun
obviously
fight.
Older. He's only 33, but Charles, I keep thinking he's older. I don't know why.
My boys. You want my 2 boys to fight each other?
I think it would be a fun fight.
It would be a fun fight, and I absolutely fucking love it.
Because it's like brother, get Matt Schnell out of number 15.
Yeah, he retired.
I was just going to say, he retired. He's out of there. Put Charles Johnson in there because he's on a 4-fight winning streak at flyweight, and that's how it works there.
Yep.
And just give him Tim Elliott because it's fun. Like, who gives a shit?
Oh, yeah. That'd be such a good
fun fight.
Such a good
I would
fight.
love... I'm just imagining, like, Charles Johnson doing his North, and then just Tim doing his, like, popping, like, little Frank thing. I need the visual. I need it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Such a good fight that would be. But yeah, let's see where each of those fighters go. Always putting on fun fights in the UFC, though. Next fight on the main card, another really big upset. Motherfucking Cameron Smotherman coming in on short notice, making his UFC debut. Gets a unanimous decision win over Jake Hadley. I don't know if you've been noticing a theme, but there's been a lot of decisions. That's what, we mentioned it earlier, but yeah.
A lot of decisions on this card.
At least this time, it wasn't riddled with a whole bunch of split decisions and a lot of questionable judging. So,
that's true.
Everything was actually unanimous on this one. So.
Oh, yeah. The one was in PFL.
Yep.
But Cameron Smotherman coming in at 135 pounds. He has such good, clean striking. The body work consistency was amazing. It was just so good.
Yeah, 48 significant strikes landed to the body.
Yeah.
Landed by a target. 5% to the legs, 44% to the head, 50% to the body. I love to see it.
Yeah, beautiful. You do not see that much at all. It's like, just incredible.
Yeah, no, Jake Hadley's a lot more close to the normal at 46 to the head, 28 to the body, 25 to the legs.
Yeah.
Maybe then that's a little high.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like, he just had so many problems on the feet for Jake Hadley. Jake was just too content to move back and just getting touched up. He tried to go to more of the grappling. I think it was in the second round. But Cameron was doing good defending, just still putting good shots on him and hurting him. Round 3, Jake was really fighting hard for the finish. And there was like some moments where I was like, okay, Cameron's got to clean some stuff up, maybe work on the cardio, you know what I mean, to just like keep himself more safe throughout like the last round. But
because Jake lost the point in round 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because it was the nut shot and then the bad eye poke, right?
Yes. And he had an eye poke earlier in the fight, I think in the first round as well, so that was the reason for the point deduction. And also, with like what you're saying, like Jimmy, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, he took this fight on a week's notice. Was in Saudi Arabia to corner Rafian Stotts and flew back to take this fight. So like his cardio is going to suffer because of that. So I really do want to see what he looks like after a full camp.
No, I did not know that, like, because obviously short notice, you know what I mean? It's like
short notice, flying back from fucking Saudi Arabia to Vegas. And then, short notice debut at, the UFC, you're just like, shit, this is my debut type shit.
Yeah, but good for him, man. Definitely excited to see what he could do at 135 pounds. Another solid fighter added to the division. So not much to really matchmake there. It's just like, after his UFC day, it's like, all right, just keep building him up, man. Like, let's see what he can do. Exactly. And then, like, I know that while we were watching the fight, you were saying, like, Jake Hadley looking more filled out, like, for this. I still just don't know if 135 pounds is right for him. I feel like he's got to get things straightened up so he can make 125 solid to, like, just get that. Because
I think his problem is he just isn't aggressive enough. I think the problem is he's way too content being on the back foot and trying to counter.
Yeah.
And it just isn't working for him. I think he needs to change up his actual game plans.
That's very fair.
And how he fights. Like, I think that's the biggest issue.
But if you want to watch a fighter that has no problem being aggressive, there's none other that's better than the motherfucking damage. Darren Elkins, this motherfucking old ass man, still just going to war every single time that he can. Gets another unanimous decision win?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
You got fight of the night.
Him versus Daniel Pineda. Yes. Bro, this was such an incredible fight.
I knew this was going to be a war.
Rounds 1 and 2. The back and I'm pretty sure Daniel Pineda went for about like 6 guillotines and choke attempts throughout the fight on Darren Elkins. It was
all got credited for 2.
That is such bullshit. He fucking locked that thing up so many times on him. There were like 4 different times where I thought Darren Elkins was gonna get put to sleep, but like it, just incredible. I couldn't believe that it was just about the end of the first round, and I was realizing during a grappling exchange that Daniel Pineda was leaking all over the place, and Darren Elkins did not have a cut yet on him. I was like, that's crazy. Yep. Normally, he's the one always bleeding all over the place. But yeah, just a great old man's fight. Gets it done. Good for him. Passes Max Holloway for most fights in featherweight history.
And Max is going to tie that next week.
Well, we'll get to that in another one. You know what I mean? But yeah, just a great fight.
Great fight.
Like you said, Kate, they got fight of the night, and they both definitely deserve $50,000 extra for that performance.
Yeah, Daniel Pineda did retire after the fight.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Salute to him.
Yep.
Like, great. Had a good career. Like, and yeah, no, I can understand why. Like, he's lost his last 3.
So 39 years old.
Yeah.
39 years old. Maybe then in his last 5, 1, 3, and 1 no contest. Yeah.
Yeah. It's rough being in MMA, especially when you're 39. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so definitely hope that everything goes for him in his life after fighting. But yeah, good for Darren Elkins, man. On the prelims, really not too much to get into. Before we get into like the real good thing to mention, just a quick mention of how absolutely terrible Rebellis Despain is.
Yes.
It's really funny because like I saw her post yesterday, and it like is just really funny thinking about it and looking at it now. But like when he first got signed to the UFC, before he fought, the Weasel like made a video of just like the new Francis Ngannou and just like you know talking about Rebellis and stuff, and it's just like, damn, you couldn't knock out the dude that Greg Hardy knocked out.
Yeah, I only realized that this morning, and that made me even more mad that Rebellis couldn't do that shit. Because it's like, Austin Lane has 5 losses, all of them by knockout, and in Greg Hardy's debut, when he was 4-0, he got knocked out sub-minute on Dana White's Contender Series. And Rebellis, you're telling me you couldn't do that?
Rebellis is when people say fraud check, this is the type of shit we're talking about.
Yes.
This is a fraud check.
It's not people losing to people at the highest of levels. Because it's like
Tez Acosta, him losing against Austin Lane.
Because then
these are fraud checks.
And yeah, like talking about Greg Hardy, but it's like Austin Lane just losing. He got knocked out in his last 2 fights too. You know what I mean? Like fucking Dinas 6-0 coming into the UFC, just like his debut, he got knocked out by him. He got knocked out by Justin Tafa.
Yeah.
And Rebellis, you're telling me that you couldn't do that?
Because even with Waldo, it's like, honestly, Waldo is a better contender moving up through heavyweight. You know what I mean? So that was one where it showed clear flaws. You know what I mean?
It showed clear flaws, but the reason I call it a fraud check is because Waldo Cortez Acosta is not a grappler. Has not been shown to have that skill until that fight.
Very true.
So that's why I call it that.
Yeah.
But this one 100% is.
Yeah, this was so bad, man. So, cut him immediately. Let him fight some regional guys for like 2 years and see if he can still do this
next
at all.
Opponent? Oh, God.
Oh, my God, bro. Holy
like, stuff like that should be illegal.
Bro, he would kick his leg and he would probably just fall to the ground, and then that would just be the grappling exchange. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean? Francis just immediate double away.
Yeah, absolutely terrible. Good for Austin Lane, though. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yes. Sure, yeah.
Good for him.
It is good for him. I'm not being, like, trying to be a dick with that, but it's just, like, he's what in the UFC?
Yeah. I think that was his first
1-2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-2-1.
Yeah. So, but yeah, good for him.
I don't know where he goes from here.
It doesn't matter.
He fought one Tafa. Give him the other Tafa. Let's really see who's the better Tafa.
Yeah, why not? But the only real mention, I feel like, on the prelims, Asu Almabayev getting a unanimous decision win over Mateus Nicolau. This was just a very solid performance for him. He got put into the back end of the top 15 at number 14, and we were all just kind of like, okay, well, he hasn't really done anything. There's no hype or like anything. Not really sure why he got put in there, but okay, you know what I mean? And then they just decided to give him a top 10 opponent in Mateus Nicolau, ranked number 7, and it's like, well, now we're going to fucking see. You know what I mean? He looked real good. I think it was the second round, landed a real big shot that put Mateus Nicolau down. I really thought that he was going to... Third round, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought, like, I know, you know, just talking about it, just like, yeah, he has 3 knockout wins in his entire career, and, you know, Nicolau, pretty sure all of his losses, other than this one by knockout. But I thought that he might be able to get it done. Got real close, but ends up getting the decision. Great win to get into the top 10 for sure.
Yes.
And it's like, I know it would kind of suck for just like, because, you know, I know we were talking about it, and it's like, you know, Tatsuto Taira just lost in a real tough fight to Brandon Royval. And it's like, you don't really want to kind of kill off 2 prospects, but I would love to see a fucking fight between Taira and Asu Almabayev. That is such a good fun fight.
Yeah.
I can understand what you're saying with that.
But it's, I mean, other than that, it's like...
I'd rather him versus Manel, but anyway.
He beat 7 Nicolau. Let's get him against Kai Kara France. You know what I mean? Give Tyra the easy win against Manel Kape.
That's what I meant was Tyra against Manel.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, so that's perfect. But it's like, yeah, I just feel like that's a very solid enough win that, you know...
Manel's a fight booked.
Yeah, he's fighting...
Bruno Silva.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we're getting the contenders moving up in the flyweight division. They just gotta start getting them that one good enough win. It doesn't, like... It's just hard, you know, but like get them that one good enough win where you could just be like, yeah, title shot, you know?
No, we can't do that because it's like we're seeing that. We see Steve Ercik, he got one good win, he got put in the title shot, got shut down, got his next fight, got knocked out. Tyra got one ranked win over Alex Perez into Royval, too tough of a fight. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... I don't think they should be doing that. I think they need at least like a couple top wins just for the grind and experience. Like we've just been watching them just kill people off by pushing them. And like specifically in flyweight where they need the contenders the most. It's like it might take a while to get the transition, but I feel like it's worth the wait if it actually happens, you know? If they can actually grow over time, face some adversities, but not against the toughest guys in the world where it's like, damn, you're just shut out. You can't make adjustments mid-fight. You know what I mean? Like...
Just let Pantoja try and beat DJ's record. Is that 2 title defenses?
And then if that happens, then no one's going to take flyweight serious for even longer amount of years because then he's just going to retire. We're left with that.
I know. But with saying just like the one good win, it's like, yeah, with him, like put him against Kai Kara France. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I know that Steve Ercik got shut down by him, you know, but it's like, it's because it's like, no, sorry, Asu Almabayev.
Okay.
Like, you know, because it's like, yeah, I know he was 14 and just beat Nicolau at 7, but it's like, that was a clear, like, easy win. It's like, I don't know, what, like, put him against Alex Perez, you know what I mean? Like, just one rank up. It's like, you know, obviously they could do Tyra, but, like, it's just like, yeah, like, just, I feel like it... Like, you know, get them against the top contenders because then at least, like, we've already seen these top contenders fight for the title. So at least I feel like it's better if, like, they can get new wins, so there's at least real hype for them to get back to a title shot instead of beating people that they've already beaten before, and then it's 1 or 2 fights because, oh, it's number 1 versus number 3, and you know.
Yeah, and I get that, and I just, like, because, you know, defending, like, the contenders coming up, it's like, even if they beat one guy, like, you know, Nicolau ranked at 7, it's like we always say styles make fights. So just because he beat number 7 doesn't mean someone like Tagir couldn't give him a hard time. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it's like, and I know going back to number 11, but it's just one of those things where it's like you're racking up wins, you're getting different styles, you're getting the experience, and it's just like good for them.
No, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so I mean, we'll see how the UFC wants to go. I wouldn't be surprised. It's like being number 14 to number 7 if they do just try and push him, you know?
No, so, yeah, for sure. I feel like they probably will. I'm just saying that, like, I don't want to see another person just get shut down, but it just sucks because it's like the guys at the top, it's like while they've been around for a while and it's been stuck like this, it's not like any of them are old.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
No,
where it's
yeah.
like we're looking at 55, where it's like, yeah, they are 35, turning 36, like things like that.
Yeah.
They're on the back end of maybe like, 33, but it's like they're still in their prime and still able to beat these guys, and it's just so rough.
No, yeah. But, and I don't know, but that's where it's like, Kai just beating Steve, where it's like, obviously that's rough for Steve, and it was just too big of like, just a step up and everything. But it's like, yeah, if he beats Steve and now if like they did him versus Asu and now like he beats Asu, then it's like, okay, those are like just two new good wins where it's like, yeah, let's see him fight Pantoja or whoever, and like, even with Royval getting, like the win over Tyra, it's like, it sucks for Tyra, but like, how much like he has way more interest beating Tyra going into like a title fight now, I feel like, than if he just beat Kai Kara France for a second time. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I don't think that like with Tyra that really killed anything at all, because he obviously
he's of the level.
Exactly. Obviously he got beat up pretty badly in that fight, but one, it's Royval who has great striking, but he also has good grappling, and we saw that Tyra excelled in that, and we also saw that he has heart and he's like just tough as hell. You know what I mean? His recovery is amazing. So it's like, give him a bit time to get older and just, like get a bit more of a skill set, just get a bit better. He's going to be amazing. That didn't drop his stock at all. You know, like, so I'm not trying to say that like, oh, it killed a prospect in the division, but it just sucks to see him go from an Alex Perez fight to #1 Royval and then him get beat up like that. Again, I do think it'll be a good learning lesson for him and that he will get much better from it, but damn, like he could have just gotten the experience and then built into that fight better already, No,
that's for sure. Definitely do understand it.
Yeah.
But with that, that's really all there is to mention about this card. It was pretty fun overall. Let's go. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Oh, yeah, I guess a quick mention of Tapology. I forgot about that. I won. Hooray.
I came in second. Ginger lost. Whatever. Tapology. Boo.
Cameron Smotherman upset got me the win. Let's go. But
I think I probably won PFL Tapology, so woo.
Yeah, Kate did win PFL Tapology, so very nice for her.
First time I ever did it, and last time.
Yeah. All because of Johnny Eblin decision. You voted for the no fun option, and she got it.
I knew it. Like, duh.
Boo. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you all had a great time, and we will catch you on the next one for motherfucking UFC 308. That's gonna be too much. Goddamn, let's go. Peace out.